Hi, I'm attorney Jeremy Huss. A question I have heard people ask is what a person's gun rights will be after a domestic violence conviction. This answer depends on what the conviction is for, and did it involve the use or attempted use of force. There are both state and potential federal ramifications to state domestic violence convictions. Let's talk about Arizona state law. First, what are a person's gun rights if the domestic violence conviction is for a felony? In this scenario, the felony conviction itself prohibits a person from possessing a firearm. This is whether the person is on probation or not. This offense is called Misconduct Involving Weapons, or MIW. It's a Class 4 felony, and a first-time offense carries up to 4 years supervised probation, or a prison range of 1 to 3.75 years. One should not possess a firearm after a felony conviction unless they have had their gun rights specifically restored. The second question under Arizona law is what are a person's gun rights if their domestic violence conviction is for a misdemeanor? In this circumstance, Arizona Revised Statute 13-3107, Section A, Subsection 7, Part D, defines a prohibited possessor as any person serving probation for a domestic violence conviction. So, a person on misdemeanor probation for any domestic violence offense, violent or not, is prohibited from possessing a firearm while on probation. This also would be a conviction for misconduct involving weapons. Again, this is a Class 4 felony carrying up to 4 years supervised probation, or a prison term of 1 to 3.75 years. Once a person is discharged from misdemeanor probation, they may possess a firearm unless federal law applies to the conviction. That leads us into federal law and a person's gun rights after a state domestic violence conviction. In this scenario, per federal law, certain state misdemeanor domestic violence convictions are qualifying offenses. These so-called qualifying offenses are specific state misdemeanor domestic violence offenses that involve the use or attempted use of force. Specifically, this would likely include assault by domestic violence. It could also include disorderly conduct or other misdemeanor domestic violence offenses. It just depends on the facts or circumstances and whether force was used or attempted to be used. Again, these analyses are dependent on the unique facts of each case. Misdemeanor domestic violence convictions have far-reaching impacts, including a person's ability to possess a firearm. A person must be cognizant of what type of conviction they have. Is it a felony or a misdemeanor domestic violence involving the use or attempted use of force? Navigating through the criminal justice system may be a wilderness. It is important to consult with only an experienced attorney. I've been handling domestic violence cases in Arizona for 20 years. Call me today at Huss Law for a free consultation.